Hello, everybody, and welcome to my talk on sacred water and the kogi prophecy when it comes to water. This is all interlinked, and I've been wanting to do this talk for a long time, and I've been kind of getting the wisdom, feeling into this wisdom of the waters, and now I feel like it's the right time to properly talk about water and how water interlinks with this awakening, with this shift. So we find ourselves in June 2024 right now, and the Kogi, which are a ancient tribe based in the Sierra Nevada in Colombia. This tribe, they have wisdom that goes far beyond our comprehension. In fact, they call us the younger brother, especially in the West. They claim, or they know, shall I say, that younger brother has destroyed the earth by not looking after her in the way that we were meant to look after her, stewards of the earth, and to know and understand our true connection to the mother earth. But the Kogi always have remembered this connection, and the top of the Kogi are called the Mamas, and these Mamas are so wise, so in tune with the natural world. They spend the first 20 to even 30 years of their life maximum. I think it's 12, or I think it could be even a bit more than that, years of their life in complete darkness since they were a baby, and then they are let out into the light after such a long time. This is for like an initiation. Can you imagine in the West like doing something like that? It's just crazy to us, but that's what they do over there, so we have to take them seriously because they have a lot of wisdom to share. But getting to the point is that they want to share, that they are sharing their knowledge now more than ever with us about the sacred waters and about what we need to do. They claim that we need to heal the rivers specifically, not just the rivers above, but the rivers below, because there's rivers below the earth too, the primary water rivers, and the rivers above, which are the rivers we can see. So the first thing that we need to understand is that water is an element. And this is a simple fact for a lot of people. Obviously the elements of fire, earth, water and air. But the thing is that there is 5 elements. The 5th is Great Spirit, which is ether, which binds all the elements together, all 4 of the main elements. But if you think about it, all of the elements are unlimited. Fire, you cannot run out of fire. Air, you cannot run out of air. Earth, you cannot run out of earth. It just keeps renewing itself. The soil keeps renewing itself. And Great Spirit, ether, you can't run out of spirit. So water, you're obviously not going to be able to run out of either. It's a force that keeps renewing itself. So straight away, we've been indoctrinated into the idea that water is a non-renewable source because we have water shortages. But how can you have a shortage of something that is renewable and it's constantly renewing itself? And this is where we go into the springs, which is the first thing I'm going to be talking about, the primary water springs. Primary water springs are springs that are formed underneath the earth, way below the earth, and they're formed out of gas, and over time pushed up, and they finally emerge out of a spring. The ancient world understood spring. Not even the ancient world, only a couple of 100 years ago. The majority of Europe, as I know, I don't know about the rest of the world, I'm sure they did, but Europe for a fact were getting their water from springs, from sacred springs. Just my village alone had 3 sacred springs, known sacred springs, and the whole village was getting their water from these springs. A sacred spring it was as well, because people used to make pilgrimages to St. Mary's spring, to St. Anne's spring, to St. Teresa's spring. They used to make pilgrimages and offerings to them, and then drink them and bathe in them. These were the springs, and they were very likely primary water springs. meaning that they weren't groundwater springs. They were actually primary water, which means that they have never reached a man-made surface, a layer contaminated by any of the chemicals and toxins that we produce. A younger brother, the human in the Western world, the toxic human, produces water that's come from a primary water spring has never touched that layer. So it's pure. It's pure, clean as anything. And not just that, it's been travelling through thousands of years of crystal, picking up memory, picking up energy, and I've talked so much about this in the Prophecy of Albion documentary amongst my other videos. So this is what a spring is. This is what a true primary water spring is. And this is water that's constantly renewing itself underneath the earth and then finally coming up after years and years and years. So it's a renewable source. It's an element. That is not to say, though, that we have to look after the rivers, that they cannot run dry, because the waters above can. The waters below, this is what we need to separate. The waters, when I say the waters, what does the waters mean? The waters means these two types of water. There's water above and water below. So there's the underground rivers and the rivers above. So there's the top layer of water and the bottom layer of water. They're both just as important as the other. But human activity, we've contaminated the above layer so much that it's struggling. It's struggling like crazy, especially the rivers. And the rivers are the earth's veins, the earth's blood. And this is affecting absolutely everything. And we can affect the layers below, but not in terms of toxins and chemicals. This is in terms of consciousness. So this is still running because it's so ancient. It's the true soul of the earth is the water. Everything comes from water. So these primary water springs is what keeping this earth running. But the waters above, we've polluted, we've neglected, and this is affecting every single thing in the world. It's affecting everything. By blocking a river, by diverting a river, by polluting a river, we're polluting the mother, we're polluting everything. The Kogi saying there in a film of theirs that they warned the government, or what government was it was in Colombia, not to build or construct anything on a certain site which they called a sacred site, because they knew that nothing good could come of it. They warned of a natural disaster that would occur if they started construction over this body of water or near this body of water. And a couple of years later, I think it was, the natural disaster occurred. But then they label it as, oh, the earth's against us. It's global warming type things. And no, it's human activity that's not taken into consideration the sacredness and the depth. They just don't understand. The Kogi say we just don't understand anything. No matter what degree we've got, no matter what scientific background that we got, the Kogi say we just don't get it. We still don't get the waters. We don't get what it means to be human. We don't get the natural world. But they believe that now, especially the end of June the 30th, and around this time, this is our last chance to truly begin to see, to have hope, unless it's all gone. We have to see very soon. 2026, I think, is the true end of the old world, of our world. Sorry. After that, the true timeline can come in if we stick to it. The true vision, how we can save the world, is after that the new earth. Otherwise, it can go their way. It can go the controller's way. We can lose our ways completely if we don't start understanding what the waters are, what we are in terms of the connection to the natural world and the connection to ourselves. This is what it's all about, and this is what the Kogi, this is their message, and this is what they're trying to get across. They're telepathically communicating with us through all the sacred sites which we've been destroying. Sacred sites like rivers, like bodies of water, like sacred stone circles, and all of that. They're connecting with us telepathically through these sites, because all the countries have their own sacred sites that are used in communication. And the Kogi, to a lot of people, this is ridiculous. This is just me waffling. But no, the kogi don't understand why we don't get that. To them, it's simple. Telepathy is simple. They claim that they can read water through the bubbles, what water is saying, what it actually needs, what it wants. They can read it through bubbles, and they don't understand how we can't read water through bubbles. But to us, it's such a foreign concept that we cannot even begin to perceive what it's like to read water, because we don't even know it's alive here in the West. For them, water is just a part of them. It's just a part of the natural world. And that is why they find it so easy to read the bubbles. So they're telling us to heal the rivers. And how do we heal the rivers? Some might say, how do we heal the waters? How do we go about healing the waters? Well, we start simple. We start by praying. We start by going down to a near body of water and praying for it, praying for its health. We start by cleaning any litter that we find anywhere. We start by making offerings, throwing stones or anything into the river. We start by acknowledging that it's living, that we cannot harm the rivers, that we must come together and pray, because by praying it changes the molecular structure of the water, as Masaru Emoto already proved in his experiments. Praying and positive vibrations affects the molecular structure of the living waters, because it's living. It's the element that can change the most depending on vibration is water, more than any other element. And this is how we heal the waters. So we don't let any more pollution go into the waters, because that's it for the world. If we allow the waters to become even more polluted and damaged, we cannot block the waters anymore. We have to reintroduce, because once we reintroduce the natural forms, how the land is naturally, everything else comes into place. The kogi understand this. They understand that by destroying a lagoon below, on ground level, that it can actually destroy the pools of water up in the mountains. But the Western scientists, they don't understand how that's possible. They think that yes, by destroying the water in the mountains, that can destroy the lagoons below, but not the other way around. But the kogi don't agree with that. They can't see how we don't understand that. They see that if you destroy the lagoon below, it's going to affect everything above, because they believe that the one below is actually feeding the one above, because it's then evaporating up into the atmosphere, and it rains back down into the pool above, and it continues that cycle. And that's logical sense. And they see this so deep. And this is how we cannot afford to destroy any more of these sacred water sites. Any of the sacred sites, we have to respect them, we have to honor them, and we have to keep praying for the world, and to pay pilgrimages almost to our nearby bodies of sacred water that stands out to us on the outside, but also on the inside, because we are water. And by getting in touch with our emotional side, and by slowing down in life and getting in touch with our divine feminine, our feminine essence, then we get in touch with our inner waters, and we don't just heal the outside waters, that we heal our inside waters as well, because it's connected. It's all connected this time now. And this is why it's so exciting to be alive right now, because by working on yourself, you're actually healing your outside world. And again, that's a concept where rationally it doesn't make sense, but it's true. By working on yourself, you do heal the outside world, because there's no separation. It's all connected. It's all one. So I wanted that if you've got any questions on this, by all means, put a comment on the YouTube. Even contact me on my email on jamesvalerio@outlook.com. And I think I've got my link tree of all the contacts are on there. So I'd be glad to have a discussion on this subject and what we can do, how we can come together, because I want to generate more of a community where we can start to rebuild the sacred springs, start to find them and reintroduce them back into the world, because it's only us that's going to do it. The government, they're the ones that have hidden them completely and buried them, or literally buried the springs. Like there's one down here that's been buried, the most sacred of them all, St. Mary's Well. And we have to come together to start reintroducing them, because no one's going to do it for us. There's no saviour here. There's no saviour coming to save us. It's us that save us. It's you, it's me, it's us all coming together as humans We are the race that is going to be remembered for a long, long, long time to come, to eternity, because this is the shift. This is the end times, the golden age, the shift to the new dawn. And this is why it's so exciting to be alive. This is why it's so momentous. This month, not just this month, but the next few years as well, but this month, June, to start embodying our true power, to start knowing what the sacred waters are, how powerful the sacred waters are, so we can truly go about this shift into the awakening. Because this age that we're going into is all about the water. It's all about the divine feminine, and the more of the softness energy coming in to the world, rather than the control and the manipulation that's been there. Not to say that the masculine energy is not going to be involved, that not at all. It's a balance of both, but the distorted masculine energy has been running the world for a long, long time, in terms of war, in terms of manipulation, in terms of destruction. But now we're stepping into our balanced masculine and feminine side. But the feminine side is the watery side, is the moon. And this is what this time is going to be all about. It's that time of surrender. It's that time of trust and belief, and slowing down, observing and learning and experiencing creativity. It's all about that, this new time. So thank you very much for watching this video, and there'll be plenty more to come. But yeah, that's any more comments, drop us a comment in the YouTube, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, which is probably going to be a van conversion video. So I'll see you next time on the next video. Have a good day, everybody.